Hello everybody, welcome to the video for our drawing of the symbols of Oregon. Now, yesterday you should have listened to the story about all the different symbols of Oregon, and you probably noticed that I listed quite a few. We are not going to draw all of those symbols. We are going to do 6 that I've picked and call it good. We're going to pick the 6 top ones, I think. So, of course, I think the most important symbol of Oregon is our flag. So we're going to start with the Oregon State flag. Now, I've already made my title appear, so make sure you have written Symbols of Oregon at the top of your page. And then we're just going to, in our minds, divide this paper into sixths. So we're going to have to kind of think about fractions a little bit. And each sixth of the page will have a different symbol, okay? We're not going to draw lines or anything like that. We're just going to kind of keep it to 1/6 of the page and kind of visualize what that looks like. Okay, so we are going to start with the state flag of Oregon, which is navy blue. So I have my dark blue pencil. And we're gonna make a little rectangle. I put a little wave in the flag. So whatever I do to the top to make the flag look like it's actually waving, I'm also gonna do to the bottom. So I'm gonna kind of mirror that wavy line here. There we go. So it's a blue rectangle, and on it, it has writing in gold. This might be a little hard to see, but I'm gonna go back over it with the blue, but I'm gonna put my gold writing in first. So I'm not trying to fight the blue about it. So I'm gonna take my golden colored pencil, and here at the top, it says State of Oregon on the flag. And it kind of curves a little bit like this. I'm going to make it as dark as I can so you can see it on the video. I'm sorry if it's hard to see. If you can't see it while I'm making it, just make note that I'm doing the lettering first, and you can kind of fast forward to where I put the blue in, and then it'll be much easier to see. So it's in all capital letters here. And then below State of Oregon, still in gold, is the state seal of Oregon. And so the state seal looks like this. It's a shield shape. Like that. And then it has, these are actually little tiny stars, but I'm not going to draw these little tiny stars. So we're just going to represent them as little dots. Just go around the bottom 2 sides of the shield, like that. And then above the shield, there is an eagle. So we're just going to draw a very simple shape of an eagle. And then inside the shield, there's a whole lot of Oregon symbolism inside the shield. We're going to keep it super simple. So suffice it to say, there is a covered wagon. Just going to draw like kind of a rectangle that's rounded on top. Give it some wheels. And it is being drawn by a couple of oxen. A very general animal shape there. And there is a rising sun back there. Maybe it's a setting sun. What is it in the state song? Blessed by the blood of martyrs, land of the setting sun. Maybe it's a setting sun. And then there's a ship back here too. You just do a little boat shape. And there's like some crops and things growing around here too. Okay, state seal. And then at the bottom is the year that Oregon became a state. And what year is that? Bingo, it's 1859. So 1859. There we go. And of course, there's something really special about our state flag, which is that it has two sides to it. We're just going to draw one side of it. So this is the side that has the name of the state and the year and the state seal. We're going to do that side. The other side is just blue with a big gold beaver in the middle. So we're going to just do this side. Probably right now some of you are asking, Mrs. Richardson, why didn't you just do the side with the beaver? It would have been so much easier. Well, you know me, I don't do things the easy way. Okay, so notice how as I'm shading this in, I'm not like going over my golden color. I'm gonna go back and do that very, very extremely carefully. A little bit. Because if I go over it with my blue, it's just gonna turn green. And we don't have green writing on our flag. We have gold writing. I'm just gonna kind of very carefully go around. All right, and then I'm gonna get into the nitty-gritty. And if I don't like get it exactly around all these little tiny dots, it's okay. Excuse me. My allergies are acting up. So I'm being really careful to use just little pencil strokes. I'm not getting wild with it. I'm keeping them all going in one direction so they don't look scribbly. I might like go the opposite way with the side of my lid on my bigger areas, just to kind of blend my strokes in a little bit. That's it. Everything else is going the same direction. Go. I'll just kind of blend any scribbliness in with the rest of my flag. Still being really careful not to go over my gold. If you wanted to, you could add a little bit of blue on the seal, but it's not necessary. You can if you want to. Okay, so there's our state flag. The next part right in the middle here is going to be our state flower, which is Oregon grape. And we are going to show it in the flowering stage. So once again, I'm going to start with my golden yellow. You can add some of the bright yellow to it as well if you want to. I'll probably just do it in the dark color so you can see a little bit better. So Oregon grape has, in the springtime, like right now, these big clusters of these little yellow flowers. And the flowers themselves almost look like yellow grapes, the way they bloom. They're just such a tight little flower. So we're gonna make a big cluster of flowers here. And then you could even like take your orange and kind of highlight a little bit on the sides of them. So you kind of see where the individual flower buds are. Do a little shading. Some of you guys are getting really good at shading. Okay, there's our Oregon grape flowers. And then Oregon grape has these leaves that look almost like holly leaves. They're kind of spiky and they're shiny and they're dark, dark green. I'll just kind of put in the shapes of these Oregon grape leaves. And they kind of grow in the wild. Like if you use them in like landscaping, they can get really big. But in the wild, out in the woods, they're usually like just kind of low bushes. So you kind of see like a couple little stems coming out of the ground. And then they're just like covered in these spiky leaves. I'll do another little cluster of flowers over here. You'll find more than one cluster of flowers on each plant, especially if they're in a good spot. So like I said in my video yesterday, then in the summer, these flowers will give way to these really pretty purplish blue berries or grapes. They are Oregon grapes, and they are in fact edible. My mom, Grandma Jan, used to make really delicious jam with Oregon grapes. She won quite a few ribbons at the county fair with her Oregon grape jam. Oh, that's a pretty good representation of an Oregon grape. Okay, and the next one we're going to do is our state tree, which is the Douglas fir. So again, I'm gonna take my dark green, very Oregon color, right? And the Douglas fir is an evergreen tree, of course. A lot of people use them for Christmas trees. We're just gonna kind of go back and forth here, putting in the shape of our tree. Okay. And then of course they have a big trunk. There we go. And we can add some light brown in there to highlight the trunk. You can even choose to do a little black in there for a shadow if you want. Go back in and add some shadows to the branches. Give it some depth. And even if you wanted to, you could add some bright green in there. Make it be a springtime tree with lots of new growth on it. There we go. Okay. Down here in this corner is going to be our state insect. So this one's going to be a challenge, but we're totally up for it. And our state insect is the swallowtail butterfly. We're actually the only state that has an official insect because Oregon is famous for swallowtail butterflies. So, swallowtail butterflies are yellow and black. So we are going to just take our black and we're going to put in the body of the butterfly first. Just start with a long oval here. Head up here. Okay, and then we are actually going to outline the wings. So the wings of a swallowtail are almost pointed at the ends. So they come up and out and down here a little bit. And then they come around. There we go. I can even out my little mistakes when I go and color that in a bit. What makes a swallowtail butterfly special, and the easiest way to recognize it, is they have these little tails at the ends of their wings. So at the ends of the wings, they have these little tails that come down kind of like this. one on each wing. So I'm just going to go and kind of thicken up this black line. All around the edge of my wings. And then on the bottom here, they have like little scallops, like almost like little feathers that go along the bottom of their wings. See, those little redos I did are just going to blend right in. You're not even going to know they were there. Okay, so let's see, we're gonna put in some more black and then we'll just do the yellow around the black here. Okay, so they've got a little black stripe that goes here along their body, kind of like parentheses, and then kind of like almost these tiger stripes at the tops of their wings. And then over here, there's little yellow dots along the edge of these wings. So what I'm going to do is just kind of do this and leave room for the yellow to go in. Same over here. And I'm just going to fill that in a bit. And same goes for here on the bottom. They're almost like little triangles down here. Okay. And then of course butterflies have these beautiful veins in their wings. Okay. And then the rest we can just color in lovely yellow. Try to go around the black as much as possible because it will smudge a little bit. But not as badly as like the blue and yellow would have. And last but not least, because I know this is probably driving Ariel absolutely crazy with her love of animals, is we need some antenna for our butterfly. And there's our state insect. Okay. And right here in the middle is going to be our state bird. And our state bird is the western meadowlark, which we see more of in like Central Oregon. We don't see it a whole lot here in Southern Oregon. So the thing about birds, and this will come in handy when we're doing human and animal, little songbirds like this guy, they're basically like two shapes. There's kind of an oval shape for the body and like a smaller circular, kind of a squished oval shape for the head. And this one's going to be just a little bit different because he actually has a few different colors on his body, this little western meadowlark guy. So we're going to start kind of with his wing area. We're going to kind of put the oval together. So I'm just going to start with my brown pencil, and I'm just going to kind of put in this shape of his back and his wing here. And then his tail will come right down off his back, just like that. Okay, great. And then the front of him, his chest, is yellow. We have this beautiful yellow chest. So I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to put in the rest of him here. This is a chubby little bird. I'm going to leave just a little bit of white here because the yellow and the white don't exactly meet up. Or the yellow and the brown, they don't exactly meet up. There's a little bit of white there. Okay, and we'll connect that with some fun stuff in a minute. And then he has a little bandana on, a little bib. So right here, he's got a little black bib that comes across his neck and down onto his chest a bit. Just like that. Okay, then we're ready to do his head. So the top of his head is the same brown as his back and his wing. It's a little bit lighter than his wing, so we're gonna press a little bit lighter. I'm just gonna make this little shape here, and his beak comes right up here just like that. And this yellow from his chest comes right up on the bottom part of his sweet little face here. Okay. I can make my bib just a little bit bigger because I made his throat just a little bigger. Okay. His eye, if you kind of draw a line with your fingernails straight back from his beak, that's about where a bird's eye is. So he's got his little eye right here. And he has, we can add a little black to his beak to kind of set it off. He has a little black stripe that comes up over his head. And another one that comes out from his eye, just like that. And then on his wings and his back, he has what we call barring, which are like these little black spots or stripes that birds often will have along their feathers. So western meadowlarks have this bit of barring on them. It's going to kind of come down here onto his tail, and it just kind of becomes little speckles on his tail. There's a lot more on his wings. So here's kind of where his wing comes down. And then here on his shoulder, below his wing, and where the white and the yellow kind of connect, there's quite a bit more barring there. And it kind of continues through his underbelly. Okay, and the yellow is just yellow. Add a little bit of texture here. There's a little tiny bit of barring here too. Okay, and then his legs just kind of come right out here. And there is our state bird, the lovely western meadowlark. The last thing we are going to draw today is our state fruit, which is the pear. We are well familiar with pears here in Southern Oregon, so we're just going to draw ourselves a lovely, juicy pear. I'm using my bright green. We'll make it nice and big, like the ones you find at Harry and David. So I'm just going to start with a circle. I'm just going to shade it in and shade it in until I'm happy with the size and shape of it. I'm not going to outline a circle and fill it in. I'm just going to use the side of my lead and shade. And then, once I'm happy with that, I'm just going to add in the top of my pear here. So you kind of add a little upside down U shape to the top of your pear and just kind of blend it with the sides of your circle. Okay, and of course our wonderful pears here are not just green. If you look at a pear that's ripening, it's got some gorgeous yellow here on the sides. And then sometimes they even have a little bit of pink on them. Last summer, when I was getting my classroom all set up, Stefan came to visit me and he brought me some very delicious pears that looked just like this. Yeah, just layering some color, just like we did for good old Mount McLaughlin. Might have to press kind of hard, especially with all this color we've already laid down. But the more color you get layered in here, the more authentic your pear is going to look. Okay, and then we'll just put a little stem on that guy and call it good. All right, let's go back and label a bit. So here is our state flag. This is Oregon grape. Our state trees, the Douglas fir. Our insect is the swallowtail. Compound word, swallow and tail. Make sure you spell it right. Butterfly. And our bird is the western meadowlark. And our state fruit is the pear. There we go. Those are our symbols of Oregon. So I hope that helps you, that when you go to do your language arts assignment this week, you get to pretend to create your own state, and to represent it, you get to pick your own symbols for your state. So you get to make your own state flag, pick your own state flower and state tree, state bird. And there was a couple other things on there that I can't quite remember what they are right now. I think a state motto might be another one. But have fun with it. And I can't wait to see what you come up with for your own states. And I hope you enjoyed making this page. There are some pretty great challenges in there. But we are also great artists, and I know we can handle it. So happy drawing, everybody, and have a great day.